Anyway, thank you very much for coming out. It is 6 months, and we thought the last group meeting we had that it'd be time before we said, gee, it's almost a year. Let's have an update. And the weather's kind of supposed to be nicer at this time of year. It's 6 months, and we've got a brief update, if you would, broken down in a couple of areas, which is obviously where do we stand, or where do we think we stand, or sharing with you as much as we know, giving you a brief rundown of the various committees and how we've chunked out the responsibilities and where the traction lay and lies, and where I guess our committees are going. One thing we want to make sure that you're all aware of, if you would, the kingmaker, if there is one in this, is an organization called the Toronto and Region Conservation Authority. A deal has been struck. The TRCA is going to be acquiring this from the school board, and the funding is coming from the city. And as we understand, the funding is $2 million from the water department, and the other $1 million is kind of, well, Section 37 revenue, which isn't quite yet available. And thanks to, Doug Holliday, he's the one that kind of sort of steered the initiative in that direction. That's where the traction is. A big thanks to all of you. I'm not going to regurgitate this. You'll get a copy. Yeah, I think it is all good news. But there's also much more good news, or I guess we're looking for a much greater commitment from you as a result of what we've done here, or are doing here, and what we think our neighborhood needs.
One of the great parts of the success here is our relationship with the TRCA, the Toronto and Region Conservation Authority. I'm not great at speaking extemporaneously or from memory, so I'm going to read what I've written here about them. It's because they're so important, it's important that we all understand where they fit in the picture. We determined early on that they were certainly the people that we needed to work with. The TRCA is as old as I am, or almost as old as I am, and that makes it as old as dirt. So it's nothing new. It's been around for quite some time. It was created by the province, and it's to bring unified oversight to the 3 rivers, 6 creeks, and all of lakeshore in the Toronto region. Debbie and I have met an awful lot of these people. Their vision and professionalism has been one thing throughout the whole exercise. They were the few people that we could put trust in. They were very trustworthy, very professional, and very encouraging through the process.
As Brian was alluding to, when we requested the TRCA to partner with us, what we were asking them to do was to come and assess the property for its value from a green space perspective. And fortunately, Brian and the committee, when we had all met, we had decided to hire an arborist. I just want you to know Brian right now has funded that arborist, came in and actually did a significant inventory of the trees. And when we went into the TRCA, we were able to talk to them with knowledge, and they were very impressed. And with that, we had enough information to say it would be crazy for you not to look at this property from that perspective. So as Brian alluded to, the TRCA actually has a foundation. The City of Toronto, we can also make donations. So that $2 million is coming from the Waters Department to protect the watersheds. The Toronto Waters Department works hand in hand with the TRCA, and behind the scenes, the funding for things like Westdean Park, Oak Ridges Meringue, things like Heathercrest Park are actually all funded by the city, but bought and purchased through the TRCA.
Now we have to ask for everybody's help because we want to get into fundraising in a big way. We've got some initiatives. We're looking for volunteers who have ideas for fundraising. We're always open to ideas. And we're also looking for some people to help us with the initiatives we think we've set out that we need some help with.
We get to keep our park, and now we get to do a lot of fun things. Concerts are fun. Golf tournaments are fun. One of the other things that might be in conjunction with the concert or another part of it is we've had some artists, some very, very good artists, professional artists that have offered their time. They want to come out, possibly here if the concert is here. We haven't pinned down the venue for the concert yet. but they would come here and they would paint. These are guys who their paintings sell for thousands and thousands of dollars. They would come here, probably paint part of the park, and at the same time, while they're painting, if it's when the concert's on, the concert's going on, there would be a silent auction of the paintings that they're creating in front of your eyes.
We're looking at a Living Green 5-cent bag donation. All the stores in Toronto, I understand, charge 5 cents for plastic bags, which I believe they're supposed to give back to the community somehow. We want to ask them to give it back to the TRCA. So it means phone calls, it means visiting your local retailers, need help there. Deb has very graciously agreed to lead the project, and so, but she's going to need a lot of helpers.
And on the garage sale side, we have a couple of models we're looking at, and I think it's best we put that out on the email as well. But we're looking at a date which coincides. We're looking at a date that coincides with the John G. Flea market. You might wonder, why are we competing? No, we're not. We did one years ago on that. It was the best weekend we had on a garage sale because the traffic is there. We pull them in, we'll throw an ad. So yes, it's the last Saturday in May.
We have a golf tournament fundraiser we're planning for October. We're looking at venues for that. We've thought of Islington or Royal Woodbine because they're both on the Mimico Creek, which is this one here. But we're looking at possibly Markland or St. George's. Anyways, golf tournament. A lot of areas to raise money there. We need corporate donations, we need corporate sponsors for prizes. While we're there, we can do a silent auction, have a dinner as well. So I'm leading that one, but we do need people to help with the political campaign, the corporate donations, and even the day of.
Mother Nature is on our side.
I got
Thank you all.